saying first. Pat Mulville.
We have met.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Yeah, do you remember me? I'm with Oxford House.
Oh, gosh, yeah, I know you.
Yes.
Well, how are you? Nice to see you.
Yes,
I know
sir.
Oxford House well. Okay.
Good.
Yeah, well, I think, the neighbors, at least John Jefferson, his wife, are doing okay and are pretty happy with
Yeah.
things over there. In
That's
fact,
good news.
so I appreciate that maybe that's working out.
Yeah.
I still would rather you do it
I know.
more public so everybody would know, and I think you might not get as poor reception as you think you might. But anyway, so who's gonna do, we got who's up first?
One sentence each.
I don't want to set the stage.
No, that's
Somebody
fine.
else,
Set it.
please.
You could do
You
it.
want me to,
I'm very not prepared. So
don't worry
I'm
about
not
that,
even
that's
sure
just
how
a
to
good
start.
Well, what is it you're gonna talk to us about?
So it's a request to basically get more money funding for community ministries.
Okay,
Okay, Savannah.
you do great work.
I actually left my phone in there when I was saving my seat, but mine was about the healthcare cuts.
Okay.
And
At Frankfurt level, at Medicare cuts?
yes,
You mean passport, the fact that they changed the formula on
And-
passport?
yeah, and the rises in insurance.
If you want to follow that, Keisha Dorsey is the head of health and welfare,
Okay.
and she's very in tune with that committee. She announced April 1st, they're gonna talk about whether work requirements are gonna be required with those, and then there's been a pending lawsuit, and there's also,
Robert Sexton Smith announced on the 30th.
yeah, March 30th, I don't
At
know the time.
JCC at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Yeah, so there's going to be a large discussion. Unfortunately, if that's not changed, that building likely will not be built, and it's going to cause us further issues. So, how about you?
So my question is, with the neighborhood place funding that y'all are talking about rearranging, what programs are we pulling from the neighborhood
I mean,
place?
I can tell you where we are today. Nobody's mentioned anything about taking money
Okay.
because we're not at that point. We're at the point right now of deciding whether we're willing to increase revenue before we talk about cuts. What's on the table is roughly, you would have to make $15 million, which isn't nothing. It's quite a bit substantial for the government, next year. And then you would have 2 years held harmless, and then a fourth year, you'd have to make $20 million in cuts. But it would also provide new revenue. And hopefully during that time, you'll find efficiencies if there are any. And secondly, you can go to Frankfurt. God, if they'd help us, it'd be wonderful. They'd seem to bring a lot of obligations and no tools to fix them. If we'd have a restaurant tax, where we're located, Louisville, right on the border. That's why Indiana put a casino right on the border. Restaurant tax, 30% would be exported. What does that mean? 30% of the people that eat restaurants would be from someplace else. Many conventioners, many across the river, many surrounding counties. Unfortunately, we've never been given that option and been asking for it. We've also asked for a local sales tax. There's some things they could help ourselves with, but they have to give us the tools, and if they don't, we'll continue to have to cut services or try to raise revenue. We only have 3 ways to do that. We can do it through property taxes, through occupational, which we really can't because you'd have to get that limit increase. We're the only, of the 120 counties, we're the only one that has a limit on what we can raise our occupational tax. Only one. And then insurance premiums, which you're hearing about tonight, because that's the only one we really have local control. Property taxes are subject to a referendum, so you can't count on them because they can be recalled.
Okay.
Last question.
Alright, so a couple weeks ago, the Career Journal posted an article about revenue collected by Riverlink for the new bridge.
Okay.
Well over $20 million.
Okay.
So what could we do as a city to tap into that versus the town?
Well, it'd be nice, but that again is a state function. It's actually a bi-state commission. It's Indiana and Kentucky. They will split those revenues. I'm assuming, knowing a little bit about that, a little bit about construction and how all that works, it'll probably go to pay for maintenance or defeasing the bonds earlier. In other words, if the bond's a 30-year length, they'll go, if there's an extra $20 million, they'll put it towards paying off those bonds quicker, so then you own the bridges. But at the same time, they're always gonna, well, I don't know, if they'll always collect tolls, but they also will have to create a maintenance fund for which, painting, rust, cracks, whatever in the bridge. So that's what I would expect that to be used. And sadly, we'd have to ask the General Assembly or the General Assembly in Indiana to give us the right to tap into that money, which I'm sure his day is as useless as the other things we've asked for. So, anything else? Anybody else? I hope I was informative. I'm sorry you all didn't get to speak tonight. I should have told Liz this is a very popular night. There's a big crowd, and so there's going to be Oh, there'll be 10 speakers, and they'll take all 3 minutes, and it's a full house. This is a big decision. You're probably here at the